Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone today and thank you for listening to me talk. Today we're going to talk about the Adoption and Safe Families Act of 1997, signed into law by President Bill Clinton. It was implemented due to the increasing number of children in the foster system. The goal was to move children out of the foster system more quickly. And two of the main things that this law does is, one, it provides a stipulation that agencies remove children, parents' rights, from their parents if a child has been in care for 15 out of the last 22 months. So they must terminate the parents' rights if that happens. Second thing it does is it provides incentives for agencies who adopt children out over so many that they adopted out last year. And agencies receive $4,000 for each child that they adopt out to a foster family, and $6,000 for every special needs child. Okay, the issue with this, since the implementation of the ASFA, the number of children adopted out of the system has definitely increased. So the ASFA is working. However, the rate of all children entering the system has also increased. So the rate of them exiting and the rate of them entering have both increased. Children have been removed from their homes based on things such as neglect. Now, neglect is a very, very broad term. It can mean anything from the child has not enough food to eat or didn't get a bath yesterday, depending on who you are. So over 60% of the children in 2002 who were removed from their home were removed based on neglect. 60.5%, that's over half of the children in the system, were removed due to neglect. The problem is that agencies are now focusing on adopting children out rather than reuniting them with their families. Younger children are being placed into foster homes while older children are being placed with relatives. In one case, the Clarion County case that you can see behind me, the father had 4 children. At the time, his wife the children were living with him, and they were removed from her custody for drug abuse. The father was incarcerated for driving under a suspended license. The 4 children were removed, and the 2 older ones were sent to live with their aunt and uncle. The 2 younger ones, the baby, the 9-month-old isn't on here, but the 2 younger ones were sent to live with strangers in a foster home. Okay, they were ages 3 and 9 months, and the older ones are 7 and 8. The father's mother, the father's sister, everybody in the father's family tried to open their home to these children and tell county services that they were willing to take these children. The grandmother was denied these children based on where she lived first. They told her that she had to live in the same school district. Well, when she decided that, when she told them that she did live in the same school district, then she had to have her home inspected and a background check done, which was first fine with her, but she had already had that done because she works with mentally retarded people, and she, does a home assisting living situation. So she'd already had that done, but they told her that the state agency had to do it. Okay, so that didn't work, and after a year, 15 months, these kids have been in there, they finally accused the grandmother of abuse. The father, who was incarcerated for 90 days, was out of jail. He completed everything that CYS asked him to do, and they refused to give him his children back. 15, 20 months later, they ultimately accused him of abuse. And there has been an act to try and improve this, the ASFA. It was passed in October of 2008, the Fostering Connections to Success in Increasing Adoptions Act of 2008. Now this stipulates that children must visit with their parents at least once a week. This was a stipulation before, but they weren't doing that. The children were not visiting with their parents at least once a week. One of the other problems with this is that the incentives have increased by $1,000 per each child adopted out of the system. So now the states are making $5,000 and $7,000 for special needs children adopted out to foster families. It mandates efforts be made to notify family members within 30 days if a child is removed from their home. This is a good thing, you know, that they have to notify family members if they can find them. Now, most of the time they can't find them. What we need to do is, the AFSA and the subsequent acts need to be revised. We need to remove the adoption incentives or place those incentives toward encouraging agencies to reunite children with their families, with their biological families. Relative notification should be required before the children are removed from the home, rather than 30 days after they are removed. This way the relatives can step in and take over. The ASFA is causing families to be torn apart. Children are being ripped away from their parents in record numbers for agencies to gain monetary incentives. Preserving the family has taken a back burner to child welfare cases, and children and families are suffering the effects. We need to do something now. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
I'm Sam.
Well, as it is right now, the two older ones are now out of the CYS system. They're living with their aunt, and she has permanent custody of them. He sees them every weekend and every chance he gets. They stay over at his house every weekend, and he visits them every chance he gets.
Does he have any chance of getting custody?
As far as getting custody, no. They're not going to give him custody. It's a permanent situation now. The two younger ones, Kylie and Gage, I think I might have another picture here, yeah. Gage are now adopted to a foster family, and he will never see them again. We will never see them again. The birthday parties, the whole family thing, we will never see them again.